During the international break, every continent comes alive on our channel. Eurovision, all things Europe, Nations League, Euros, FIFA WC qualifiers. Goal Plus Africa, Africa's Heartbeat, AFCON, CHAN, COSAFA Cup, FIFA WC qualifiers. Libertadores Vision, South America Uncovered, Copa Libertadores, Copa America, WC qualifiers. Silk Dynasty, Asia Spotlight, Asian Cup, WC qualifiers. Harambee Stars Unleashed, everything about Kenya's national team. When club football dominates, we go deeper. United Frontline, the ultimate Man United fan experience. Echoes of Anfield, Liverpool like you've never seen it. House of Galacticos, Real Madrid Uncovered. Premier League Game Month Show, stats, analysis, insights every 4 game weeks. Champions Crystal Ball, UEFA Tournaments, Club World Cup, Super Cup predictions. Final Whistle Debate Show, the hottest sports topics debated by experts, every 6 weeks. Deal Paranoia, transfer window coverage you can't miss. And for weekly predictions? We cover everything: Premier League, Championship, FA Cup, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, League One, DStv Premiership, T20 Cricket, F1, Women's Super League, international tournaments, and much more. Why subscribe? Because we don't just show games, we predict, analyze, debate, and break the stories that matter. From transfers to tactical battles, from managerial appointments to live watch-alongs, Football Overseas gives you the edge no other channel does. This is your hub for global sports, where every match counts, every opinion matters, and every fan belongs. Subscribe, join the debate, and fuel your
Yo, pick up guys, welcome to the Football Overseas YouTube channel, and we are live for World Cup 2026 Game Week 1 prediction, and it is 4 years has passed. Yeah, last World Cup was in 2022, and it has felt a long time, and now World Cup is back, and it is Game Week 1 predictions. Wow, incredible. Yeah, so I know fasting on your Yeah, and oh, sorry. So, welcome, guys, to the Football Overseas YouTube channel. We are in for World Cup 2026 predictions. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we are live right now. Yeah, and planning. Yeah, so we are live right now for it, and we'll start with Game Week 1 predictions because Game Week 1 is the first opening games for World Cup 2026, and it is incredible. Yeah, so we start with some games. Let me load up the thing, and yeah, I think I shared the link. Yeah, I shared the link. Yeah, let me load up the screen. So first game is obviously a repeat game, a very historic game. Yeah, it is a game between Bafana versus Mexico. Last time that match was played was in South Africa, and yeah, sorry. Yeah, last time that match was played was in South Africa. It was a 1-1 draw. It was a 1-1 draw, and now Mexico is going to host the return leg as well. So prediction for that, it could be a tight game, very very tight game. Bafana has been Yeah, Bafana has will be hosting this well. Yeah, so Mexico, I'm predicting for this game to be a 2-0 game, tight game 2-0. Mexico to beat South Africa 2-0. I was looking at Mexico's friendlies. I know I said at Hano stream that I don't really judge friendlies here and there, but looking at how Mexico has been performing against African teams like Tunisia, those other teams that have been collecting clean sheets, tight wins here and there. And South Africa, they need some time to adjust to the high climate, high football, and everything. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for the Bafana guys to lose to Mexico 2-0. Obviously, it is Asade to lose that result. Next game is, yeah, let me even put in the poll. What you guys think? What are your predictions for South Africa versus Mexico? Do you think South Africa will manage to this time hold a lead against Mexico, or will Mexico manage to complete a comeback? Because last time out, Mexico completed a comeback to go to have a draw, but never to win. Yeah, yeah. So now next game is South Korea versus Czech Republic. This is tight game, very very tight game. I know South Korea are favorite headed to this game, but I'm going to play the devil's advocate, and do I think Czech Republic will lose? Most likely to go to head to a loss of maybe 1-0, but I still think this is game week one. Czech Republic doesn't want to start off the World Cup with a loss, so I'll go with a draw of 1-1. Yeah, I know, shocking. Why a draw? Yeah, so number one, I selected a draw because I think South Korea has too much. South Korea, yes, will underestimate Czech Republic because South Korea has too much talent and quality for to beat Czech Republic. Number two, as well, I want to make this group a bit more open because if Mexico is beating South Africa 2-0 and South Korea and Czech Republic comes back and snatches 1 point against South Korea, it makes the group a little bit more open because now the three teams are fighting heading into game week two for a second spot. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Now, Group B predictions are very tight predictions. For those watching, Group B, Canada versus Bosnia. Let me load up to Canada versus Bosnia. Yeah, Canada versus Bosnia. Bosnia qualified for the World Cup by beating Italy. Italy was shocked when they saw Bosnia being beaten by. Was shocked when they saw Bosnia was beating Italy in penalties. Was it penalty shootout? Something like that. Yeah, yeah, it was penalty shootout, and Canada is a team that is known to have some instability here and there. They are not a team that is very consistent there and there. And for Canada, it's Canada is still better than Bosnia by far. Yeah, by far in terms of squad quality, that by far Canada, their players to watch out for is Jonathan David, Alfonso Davis, and also other players as well. And for Canada, I'm rooting for Canada, but I don't think this will be an easy win of 3-0. Those kind of wins. I think Bosnia will push Canada to the limit. And for Bosnia, sadly, the limit is 1-0. Yeah, is 1-0. Yeah, so I think that's for Canada. Yeah. Now, next game is Qatar versus Switzerland. Qatar obviously is back in the World Cup, and this time they're not hosting the World Cup. They're qualified for the first World Cup. No, no, not to a guarantee of hosting a World Cup. They're qualified for the first World Cup. Two qualifiers. Congrats to Qatar for that. Now, Switzerland is a very, very talented team. And I see Switzerland smashing teams here, reckoning teams 3-1. Yeah, so 3-1 win for a 3-1 win for Switzerland. Yeah. Yeah, for Switzerland to beat Qatar. And next game is groups. So what do you guys think of Group B games? Do you think what do you think of Canada versus Bosnia? Obviously, it is two tight teams. Qatar versus Switzerland. Yeah. I think by the end of this game week, Switzerland will be on top, obviously, and that will mean it will make a tight competition between Canada and Bosnia for second place. Yes, but I want to hear guest thoughts for those two games. Yeah, so I'll give a bit of time for that, but obviously we'll head to game to Group C. Yeah, Group C. Obviously, Group C has some interesting fixtures. They has Brazil versus Morocco. I heard from a little whisper here and there that Neymar could be missing this game. Neymar is out through an injury. That's what I heard. And could Neymar's impact be the reason why Brazil could struggle against Morocco? We have seen Morocco have upset performances against big teams, and could Neymar be that reason why Brazil does not disappoint against Morocco? Because I feel Morocco will want to start the World Cup with a bang. They want to start the World Cup with a win, but Brazil's quality will not allow them to be disrespected like that. So I think for Morocco, I'm going to go for shock result. I'm going to go for 1-1 win, 1-1 draw, and I feel like Morocco will shock a lot of fans and will snatch a draw 1 point away from that game. They could even snatch 3 points if they believe in themselves and the defense that holds on to Brazil's fast counter-attacking forwards. But I don't think they can. Yeah. Yeah, by the fast counter-attacking forwards. But I want to hear your thoughts on this game. A bit conflicted here and there about the results that could be headed. With that Neymar injury, could it be a win? Could it be a draw? But it is Game Week 1 predictions. And yeah, I want to be doing a review, but obviously with other content creators, I'll be doing live watch alongs. Yeah. So next game is Haiti versus Scotland. Scotland will be wanting to take advantage of Brazil versus Morocco. They know whatever happens there, most likely it will be a draw, and Scotland wants to top the table. And to Scotland's advantage, they're playing Haiti, and Scotland will beat Haiti, but Haiti will not want to make it easy for Scotland. Yeah, I feel like Scotland will be a type of team where at halftime they'll be 2-0 up, and towards the end they'll lose concentration, and Haiti will grab a consolation goal, and Scotland will win 2-1. I feel like Scotland is that kind of team. But you tell me, you tell me your predictions for these games, because for Morocco, Brazil versus Morocco, and for mm, and for Haiti versus Scotland. But obviously, yeah, tell me the live chat because I'll move on. So for those who have joined, obviously this stream, Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Yeah, and also like the stream as well. Interact in the live chat as well. Yeah, I want to make it more interactive. I want to have a bit of fun enjoying what doing this thing. Yeah, and obviously it's early in the morning. So yeah, woke up for that's you guys. Next game is Group D. Group D incredible group. It is a group of the land of freedom. And we'll start off with the first game. First game for the land of the freedom. USA versus Paraguay. Yeah. Now, what do I know about USA? USA national team, they have had a bit of friendly and there. They've beaten Senegal T2 and they're playing on home soil, so they'll want to start the World Cup on a strong note. Yeah, and I feel like playing a team like Paraguay is a perfect way to welcome the world to your grounds. Yeah, Paraguay is a team to play against, is a nation to play against, and you see they'll get the goals definitely. The attack would be firing and on all cannons, but however, that defense is what will let them down, and it will be the difference to why USA will not get a clean sheet. But will USA get a big result against Paraguay? Yes, they will. But will USA get a clean sheet against Paraguay? No, they won't. So it will be 3-1 for USA. Yeah. Next game, obviously, is Group D, last Group D game, and that is Australia versus Turkey. Heading to this game, what does both teams know about USA versus Paraguay? They know that USA will most likely demolish Paraguay. So these two teams, this is what makes this fixture a bit tight as well because they know both nations, Australia or Turkey, are fighting for second place. Yeah. So for that, yes, Australia versus Turkey, they know that USA versus Paraguay will be a big match, incredible big match, and that's what makes this fixture a bit tight, very very tight. And both teams do not want to draw, both teams do not want to lose that game, and both teams will be looking for a draw. Obviously, Australia versus Turkey, but however, I feel like Turkey has too much quality for Australia to handle, and Turkey will want to have a result that will say we are back in the World Cup, baby, and we are back to conquer football. And a result against Australia will prove that, will prove it. And a 2-1 win for Turkey. Turkey sent off their national team to the World Cup in style, and I feel like for the Oceania continent, they will be continuing to do the same. Oceania continent, Australia, they will lose to Turkey 2-1. Yeah, Turkey has too many talented players like Eldiz, Gala, and I don't see Turkey losing to Australia in the first opening game. I feel like Turkey will win, beat Australia. Most likely, Turkey will be 2-0 up. Australia will get a consolation goal. Yeah. Next game is Group E. Yeah, Group E, the group we are talking about. So Germany versus Ku, Karaku versus, is it Karaku or Kuraku? Yeah, one of those pronunciation. How do you pronounce it? Yeah, it's hard to pronounce the name, but it is Group E, and it is Germany versus that team. Germany will head. Sorry for that. Germany will underestimate this nation. and I feel like Germany will not play the full strength team in the opening match. They'll most likely play a rotated team, and this team will want to make a statement against against Germany, and they will get that statement. They'll push Germany towards the end, and I feel like that will be a tight game of 2-1. I don't see Germany playing a full strength 8 team against this nation. Most likely a mixed version of A and B. Yeah, I feel like that could happen. Now, Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. And now heading to this game, people will be backing Ecuador. Oh, your pickup names. Let me send the link. Your names, the link is in the chat if you want to hop on, the link is in the chat names. So if you want to hop on, you can hop on. We do it together. Yeah. So for yeah, so for this nation, for Ivory Coast versus Ecuador, Ivory Coast is a talented team, very very talented team. We have seen Ivory Coast beat France 2-1, and it's just a friendly, and I see Ivory Coast shocking Ecuador. They will shock South America, and I feel like Africa will shock the dominant nation continent of South America and Europe, and it's time for Africa and Asia to do that, to show that there's a change of dominance, and that will start in this game. Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. Ivory Coast to beat Ecuador 2-1, and Ivory Coast will be aiming for that spot. Whoever who wins this game between Ivory Coast and Ecuador will secure runners up. It is guaranteed. Yeah. Whoever who wins this game, if it's a win, will secure runners up. If it's a draw, they'll not secure runners up. And yeah, next game obviously is Group F. That is Group F. Yeah. So what I guys thought of Group E? Is this French? Um, Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. I think is it French? Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. I think it's a French-speaking nation, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, could be. Yeah, Ivory Coast is a French-speaking nation. Yeah. Yes, Ivory Coast is a French-speaking nation. So what I thought on Ivory Coast versus Ecuador, and what other nation? Germany versus Carco. Yeah, so this does give me one predictions, thoughts on those two games. Yeah, is it Germany versus, yeah, and yeah, so my thoughts, Germany versus Carco will be a very tight game to rotational purpose as well. Ivory Coast versus Ecuador, that would be tighter than Germany versus Carco. Germany could actually, I could be underestimating Germany, and Germany could start a full strength team and beat Caracol 4-1, and Ivory Coast could beat Ecuador 2-1, or it could go the other way for Ecuador and beat Ecuador, and Ecuador beats Ivory Coast 2-1. But apart from that, let's move on to Group F. a lot of groups to do, but Group F as well, Netherlands versus Japan. Obviously, we know this group, this game, whoever who wins this game or draws this game will secure top of the table. Yeah, guarantee. That is top of the table guarantee. And if you if Netherlands wins, they finish top of the table. If Japan wins, they finish top of the table. And it is a lot of pressure for an opening game. Obviously, both teams will be looking to impress the other. Japan will be looking to make it tight for Netherlands. And I feel like this game would be tight, but Netherlands will have too much quality for Japan. And towards the end, Netherlands will secure a winner. Yeah. The other game, Sweden versus Tunisia. Sweden Sweden is a team that wasn't meant to qualify for the World Cup. Their qualifiers was a bit shaky in the World Cup qualifiers. Obviously, playoffs, we saw the real Sweden, the attacking Sweden. In the other round, we saw the demolished Sweden. Sweden was given a second chance to qualify for the World Cup, and in qualifiers, it's hard for you to be given a second chance. And for Sweden, they were just lucky to be given a second chance. And Tunisia, we all know Tunisia has been bottle jobs for a long time. And yeah, Sweden to beat Tunisia 2-1. Yeah, Tunisia to get a consolation goal. But what I thought on this game, because on yeah, we all know that. Yeah, so for this game, Group F, it is it Group F? Yeah, Group F, it is Sweden versus Tunisia, and the other one is Netherlands versus Japan. Yeah, so that that's by my predictions, it makes the group tighter because it is an open it is an open group, as I say, a very open group. If one of them gets a clean sheet, it makes the other game week harder for the others. But if none of them gets a clean sheet and it's tight score lines, then the group becomes more open for game week two. And we want an entertaining group stage. We don't want a dull group stage. Yes. So Group G is a team where is a group of bo- bottle jobs of teams where there are inconsistency and there. And I'll start off with the first team on this thing. Belgium versus Egypt. Belgium, a very strong side. Belgium is a side where the only enemy to Belgium is Belgium itself. Egypt is a weaker side. Egypt is a side where in AFCON 2025 they struggled in the group stage. I think the only entertaining game I saw of Egypt, where I said Egypt played good football, was the game against Ivory Coast of 3-2. Apart from that, Egypt games were more of mere luck and those other things. And I think only two games out of how many games did Egypt play in that AFCON group? They played like 5 games, and only 2 games where I said Egypt performed well. Yeah, and for this game, Belgium is a very strong side, very talented side. Egypt's defense is a bit shaky here and there, and I worry for Egypt because Belgium's wingers will outrange Egypt defense. And sorry for Mohamed Salah's fans and Mamou's fans, but you're in for shock ride because he'll be seeing Doku rinsing your your fullbacks Cleese and with PT1 win for Belgium. Next game is Iran versus New Zealand. Iran versus New Zealand. Iran will be wanting to make a statement in USA. They have been having geopolitical issues with USA, and obviously, we all know that putting sports aside and focusing on football, it is hard for you to put no put it's hard for you to put politics aside and focus on football. And obviously, for New Zealand, they will want to take that advantage of that mentality, that advantage that they have over Iran, because they know Iran is not 100% in the state, in the mentality state to play a World Cup game. Yeah, and they'll be thinking more of the safety, and they'll be thinking of more of making a statement. So for New Zealand, obviously on better days, New Zealand will have lost to Iran. On worse days, on 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 worse days for Iran, like this game coming up, it will be a draw of 1-1. Yeah. Next game is Group H. Group H is has Cape Verde. Um, yeah. So Group H, Spain versus Cape Verde. Spain, I don't see Spain playing their full strength team against Cape Verde. I see Spain playing a more of rotated side against Cape Verde, and Cape Verde will push Spain's B team a lot, and it will be a 2-1 win for Spain. Yeah, sorry, Cape Verde fans. Another Dupage match is Saudi Arabia versus Uruguay. Obviously, first game of World Cup 2022, Saudi Arabia shocked the world when they beat Argentina 2-1. No one was looking to that game because we all thought Messi, Saudi Arabia, Messi could be able to beat Saudi Arabia easily, but we are shocked. And obviously, this game, same game, we're looking at it saying Cavani, no, Luis Suarez, Saudi Arabia. Suarez can easily beat Saudi Arabia easily, but I think it will be a draw of 1-1. Another shock result, but it is who Saudi Arabia is. 1-1 draw. Next next group is Group I. Ivory Coast, no, France versus Senegal. France has too much quality in the docket. And despite France losing to Ivory Coast 2-1, I see France beating Senegal 2-1. And for France, it is an easy group. Group has the national team has a lot of quality squad depth. Yeah, so for France, they'll enjoy that World Cup group. Yes. Group I, Iraq versus Norway. Norway will enjoy playing against Iraq for sure. Yeah. And for oh, did I? Oh, okay. I missed out on that one. Yeah. So for Iraq versus Norway, it seems like I missed out on that one, but I'm going to go for a prediction. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Iraq versus Norway. I'm surprised on how I did not consider that. Yeah, it is incredible. But anyway, Iraq versus Norway 2-0, clean sheet win for Norway. France versus Senegal 2-1 win. Group G, Group G is Argentina versus Algeria. Messi will be wanting to start the World Cup on a strong note. Algeria will be wanting to not to be embarrassed by Argentina. Obviously, In the 2022 World Cup, Argentina do not want the result they show they had against Algeria, against Saudi Arabia to repeated in Mexico World Cup, and Argentina will be saying it's a better one win for Argentina over Algeria. Yeah. Next game is Austria versus Jordan. Austria versus Jordan. Third game, two good nations. Yeah, one knowing that the game against Argentina versus Algeria will be also tight, and this game I'm going for Austria to beat Jordan 2-1. What are your thoughts on Group G? Because it is a tight group with two good fixtures: Argentina versus Algeria, Austria versus Jordan, and yeah, another one is Group K. Yeah, another one is Group K of Portugal versus DLC Congo and Uzbekistan versus Colombia. So we start with Portugal versus DLC Congo. Portugal heading to the World Cup knowing that they need to have a strong result. They need to start the World Cup on a bang. DLC Congo knows that playing against Portugal is a different kind of opponent. It's not the opponent where he can pack the bus and hits them on one counter attack and think he can get a shock result or a shock draw here and there. And for DRC Congo fans, they'll be surprised if if they implement that tactics against Portugal, because I think Portugal will be wanting to go after DRC Congo here and there, and Portugal has midfielders that are capable of doing that. People like Bruno, people like Bernardo Silva, people like John Neves, and those guys, Portugal is willing to also wait out the game and also to play the game of patience. Yeah, obviously, playing an opponent like Portugal is levels above, yeah, them, and yeah. Next is Uzbekistan versus Colombia. Uzbekistan versus Colombia. That is a tight game. Colombia will be want to take advantage of. Will want to play catch up after Portugal shocks DLC Congo or DLC Congo shocks Portugal, and Colombia will want to take a win there against Uzbekistan, and it will be a win of 2-1. Last game, last group is Group L. Last group is Group L, that is England versus Croatia, Ghana versus Panama. Yeah, England versus Croatia. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for England to beat Croatia 2-1. Ghana versus Panama. Both teams have struggled in the friendlies. Panama has managed to have good performances in the friendlies, and I feel like Panama will continue to have good performances. Yeah, and Ghana will be shocked. Ghana comes into playing against Panama thinking that Ghana will get a win against Panama, but it will not be that way. But apart from that, I think I'll wrap it up here. 39 minutes, record 39 minutes, and I'm out of here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream, share. Obviously, I'll be back for Gameweek 2 predictions, but the next streams will be mostly watch along streams. Yeah. But apart from that, thank you for viewing this stream. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you for interacting. Big up to Jordan, big up to Matthias, and big up to Nems as well.